and you are live.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we're live now. I'll give it a couple of seconds just to check if we are. Ian, if we have any problems, just maybe let me know in my ear, and then I'll just so that everybody's aware, so I don't end up talking and having audio problems. If that's okay. Brilliant. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sacred Pause live show. My name is Peter Sanderson, and we've got quite a busy program ahead of us. But of course, in sacred space, time doesn't really exist, so it should all go very smoothly. We'll try anyway. The main reason that we wanted to have this ceremony was to send healing to the rainforests and to the oceans. Over 15 billion trees are cut down on our planet each year. 8,000 square kilometers of rainforest have been destroyed in the last 12 months. And that's not just the trees. That's the home of many species, many indigenous tribes too. Now, we may be human, but last night, Sophia in Hyderabad in India took us on a wonderful shamanic journey for us all to find our power animals and any species that had a message for us to help grace our earth and to help with the healing of our earth. Julian saw bats. I think that represents the rainforests, the caves, the air, the darkness. I saw sea lions. I guess that represents the oceans. Pearl saw dragons. She got the full set. She saw dragons, turtles, polar bears, you name it. And so lots of messages there about our health, and I'm sure she's already said on the WhatsApp group. But no matter what animal you saw, I know everyone probably had a different connection with a different animal, and that's the whole point, that they represent us. We're all one, whether we're humans, whether we're trees, whether we're animals. And I think it is our role in this time of transition, during the sacred pause, to use that portal, that window, that opportunity to send love and send healing to all levels, all dimensions, all vibrations and all frequencies. And that's not just on this planet, that's everywhere. So we've got a really amazing schedule today. We've got some incredible people who we're going to be speaking to. We're going to start off with best-selling author Mary Curtis. You might know her as the person who's done some of the meditations and some great singing. She outsung me last time we had a fire. So we're going to be getting her advice on how to get through this period, but also just what she thinks it all means, if there's some bigger meaning just beyond the sacred pause. We were going to have Lisa Malezic live from New York. Unfortunately, she's sick, so sadly she's unable, so we'll send her some healing as part of the meditation that we do later on. So instead, we're going to be having Ian, who you know as the man who plays the sound bowls and does that incredible vibration thing. He's going to be doing a water blessing for us. He stepped in at the last minute. Thank you, Ian, for being our savior. We've got Dean Tarabarelli, hopefully tuning in from Sedona to give us a tiny drop of wisdom and speaking to us live from Sedona. That's Arizona, right? I hope so. So we can find out what he believes is really happening to our earth right now. He's given some incredible messages over the last few days, which have blown me away, really. He thinks on another level to most people on this planet. So Dean will be joining us. Most people probably know him from the Four Winds program. And then we've got a fire ceremony, which will be incredible, as it always is. So please tell me if you're here, if you're there, if you're on WhatsApp, tell me. If you're on the Facebook forum, tell me, and I will send you to the fire in groups. I'm not sure how many people. We had a lot of people last time, maybe 50 people last time going to the fire. And we're going to finish off, last but not least, the amazing Ian Gray, again, making a comeback from the water blessing. And he and Emily, I hope, who are based in Costa Rica, are going to give us their finest binaural beats, taking us into a theta state with their sound bowls and their gongs. So an amazing, very exciting schedule. So let's not waste any time. Mary, are you there?
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for the introduction.
That's okay. So Mary Curtis is an author of five books, is it, Mary?
5 books, 4 published, 1 being proofread, and with your instruction, book 6 is under construction. So.
Wow. So a very busy lady, and all these books are incredibly spiritual. I've had the honor of reading a few of them and writing the foreword for a few of them. And if anyone wanted to buy your books, where would they get those, Mary, in case people want to buy them after hearing your wonderful wisdom?
Okay, well, at the moment, obviously, because I am originally from England, but at the moment I'm in Geneva in Switzerland, so I don't have any books with me. I've just been traveling for the last 14 months. So at the moment, they're available on Amazon through the website. So the website is marycurtishealer.com. I don't have any copies that I can forward to anybody, but yeah, they're available on Kindle, through Amazon, or obviously as a paperback. So that's marycurtishealer.com. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mary. I'm just hearing, Mary, sorry to break off when we're in full flow, that Rosalie Camacho is here, and Rosalie has done the dispatcho for tonight. I know she has to rush off to do something, so if you don't mind, Mary, if Rosalie is there, I don't know if we can. Oh, wow, this is incredible technology. Rose, how are you, sister?
Hi, Peter. Did you get the picture in the email, or do you want me to do it again, or how do you want to do this?
Well, I think Ian's got the picture, but it would be great if you could just explain to us about the dispatcho for the fire, because I know you have to rush off to speak to Alberto Vialdo. So here we go. The picture's just gone up on the stream.
Right.
Yeah, if you could just explain where you got the flowers from and what it represents.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
I put the fig leaf in there, so it was to represent no more fires in the rainforest. There's rice for the animals and the earth, palm for new trees. We have rose leaves in there for new plants to grow. I have gold roses in there, quintus. I make quintus for people in the Ayu. I have brown sugar in there for sweetness. I have bark to bless the trees that burnt. I have the flowers: wisteria, white roses, purple and white daisies, white for the clouds. And then I have Hong Kong orchids to help other countries to respect our rainforest. I have fruit in there, kumquats. I have almonds to feed the birds and the animals, seashells for the rivers, sacred oils, rosemary from Chile and Los Lobos, purify oils to purify, rose oil from Budapest, gold and silver cords, connect to Pachamama and Pachacuti. I have a white candle for Easter. I sprayed it with rose water, and I ended it with an owl feather. That is our despacho for the rainforest. Thank you. It was an honor.
No, thank you. That is incredible. I don't think we could have picked anyone better to have done that. And it sounds like you've covered all bases and more. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So now if I want to continue to join this, just stay here and listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Stick around. There's quite a few people who are watching. We've got lots of things happening, but I don't want to. I know you've got to race back to do some course because you're in a different time zone to us. So if you need to go, we respect that. We know you'll be here in spirit. Thank you so much.
Okay, I will stay for a while. I want to listen to Dean speak.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, well, we'll speak to you later, and if not, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're Welcome. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Peter.
Thank you. So that was Rosalie Camacho. I think she's in San Diego. So we'll get back to Mary now. So sorry, Mary, to cut you off in your prime there.
It's okay. Wasn't that wonderful with the beautiful flowers?
Oh,
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
We are
beautiful.
honoured. She has an incredible job. So thank you, Rosalie. So
Absolutely.
sorry, Mary. You were talking about the different books that you've done. So I mean, is there one book right now you think would represent a good book to read during a period like this? Because I know, although you haven't got physical copies, you can download them on Kindle, right?
Yeah, you can download them on Kindle. I mean, I've got one here. This is, I don't know if you can just see it there, From Stuck Duck to Hummingbird. This is, those times when we feel like we're stuck, when we feel like we're stuck in the mud. And I think at the moment, we are all a bit stuck, aren't we? The whole world is stuck. But joking aside, I think it's just a time of self-reflection and a time to slow down, a time to get to know ourselves better, a time to get to know our loved ones better as well. Because, whether you are with your family or alone, it starts kind of, showing the cracks in the mirror as such. You realize why you do have a friendship, or why you love somebody, or the areas of your life that maybe you need some attention and need the cracks maybe filling, or go and get a brand new mirror. And I think it's a big time of self-evaluation, self-realization. And a lot of people are not comfortable in their own space. And the Western world is, we're always on the loop, aren't we, on the stuck record. Many people, they're just existing, they're not living. And I think sometimes when we have time like this, okay, we may well resist it. But for me, it's a time of really going inside. Because, we know everything is inside, it's not on the external. And at the moment, the rich, the poor, masculine, feminine, old, young, we're all the same. And that's the beauty of it. Whatever nationality we are, whatever culture we are, we're all the same. We're all vulnerable, or we are all feeling vulnerable at some point. And I think that going within, and that's what the book does, it just takes you further inside. How well do you know your heart? How well do you know your thoughts? What are your triggers? What are pressing your fear buttons? Where are your creative talents? It's putting you back in your own kind of driving seat for what you want, and maybe what the soul wants, maybe what the soul needs. And I know a friend of mine said that after this, the only way forward is going to be through the spiritual, and we can all argue that anyway. But I would hope, and I certainly don't mean it in a religious sense, but I certainly would hope that more and more people are going to find the soul and find the true heart and the true friendship of, kind of being our own friend, which I think is quite a task, especially in the West, because we're taught that that's all egocentric, which it's not. If we are our own best friend, we have so much more energy and so much more love in a genuine sense to give to everybody else,
Yeah. And what do you mean? What do you think it means for planet Earth? Is this planet Earth sending us a very unsubtle message after years of abuse?
I think it really does mean that she needs a rest. She's exhausted. We have abused the planet for so long. I mean, it's just diabolical that we just trash the rainforest with all the species. Having spent last year traveling and spent 8 months in Bali with the phenomenal wildlife there, and in the north of the island, it's so untouched. I mean, in the south around the airport, is very much industrialized and for the tourists, but the real Bali is just absolutely breathtaking. And we have no right to disrespect our planet. This is our home. I mean, everybody's going to have a different opinion on that, but the more we respect our mother in the greatest scheme of things, because if we carry on, then where's it going to go? So yeah, I think she is sending us a very, very powerful message. And to me, I think if we concentrate on the water and we heal the water, because we know that there's memory in water anyway, I think that's the biggest start. But the trees are a big part of that, because the trees hold the water in the roots, So you can't separate, because our bodies are made of 75–80% water. So once we bring respect, and I think it's that big word, respect, and I think it comes down to self-respect, respect with our families, morality, but not in the egocentric way, in a genuine, heart-centered, soul-centered way,
Yeah. Now, Mary, you've been with us on this journey, and you've given us some amazing meditation. So thank you for that. But I know we get some great feedback from your meditations. But we've been working through the chakras. We started at the first, the root, connecting with the earth, moved up to the second, and the creativity of the third, hummingbird, going to the heart of the eagle. Messages from us all, and looking at things from a wider perspective, going to the throat chakra, the fifth, which is obviously about communication, working up to the sixth, which is your third eye, and moving up to a whole new level, and then the seventh, and then the eighth. A lot of us think there's only 7, but of course there's much more than that. Next time we're going to do the ninth. But humans have chakras, but also the earth has chakras as well. And I know I had the honor of visiting you in Bali, and we went to visit one of the earth's chakras. Is there a way we can send healing to the earth's chakras, or are we automatically sending healing when we heal ourselves to the earth?
Everything is intention, isn't it? And I think the more that we look after our own vibration, our own energy, our own chakras, our own aura, then the more we connect anyway. If you are full of fear, then how can you connect to Mother Earth? I'm not saying you're not going to connect, but you're not going to connect perhaps on a deeper level. And I think that certainly the privilege of working in the temples in Bali, which are kind of geared towards healing the earth, healing the chakras, healing the ley lines, dedicated to the trees, dedicated to Mother Earth, dedicated to the elementals and different things. It's just been such a great privilege and a great honor. And of course, I've done earth healing. I've always been a natural healer. It was when I learned Reiki in 2002, 2003 with Diane, that it began to kind of cross the T's and dot the I's for me. But certainly the privilege of working with Bapa Manku, and it was lovely when you and your family came over to Bali and met him. He's so connected. The only thing that you ever get really from Bapa Manku is the love and compassion in his eyes. So it was an honor. So yeah, we can all do our bit, and it's about cleaning ourselves, and it's about looking after our gardens, taking responsibility for the products we have. We can buy ecologically friendly cleaning detergents, and just a little bit of common sense. We can take care when we walk the earth. We can really connect with the trees. We can really connect with the grass. And in Geneva here, we have Mont Blanc, we have the Swiss Alps, the French Alps, and just respect and regard for the mountains. Every time I go out, it just takes my breath away. It's stunning here, and the lake, of course. The lake in Geneva is breathtaking.
Yeah, a special place to be. Especially right now. It's very strange though for me, living so close to Geneva Airport, and I've seen one plane actually in the last 10 days. It's so beautiful to have those empty skies, because all I ever hear is planes taking off from 6 a.m. through till midnight. So really, I mean, it's amazing for our children to be in a phase like this, to see the world probably as it was 100 years ago.
It's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, because the quiet here, because there's very few cars, I can usually see the planes taking off from the apartment, and like yourself, I mean, I haven't seen any in the last 3 weeks. It's amazing. So yeah,
Amazing.
Mother Earth is having a rest, and I think it's making us all look inward. It's making us appreciate our friends, our family more. I think it's making us appreciate going out for a coffee, going out for a meal. It's making us appreciate laughter and music. I mean, I love the funny videos that are going around, and the beautiful alternative versions of the classic musicals, you know. And I think when we're up against it, as many people are feeling the fear, you know, just be aware to recognize the fear, but do your best to distract yourself from that as much as you can. Honor it, but within reason. Maybe give it 5 or 10 minutes, then put your funny film on, funny music, something that's going to lift you. Or if you are with someone, you know, please give them a hug. I haven't had a hug for a while, and you know me, I'm a very, very tactile person. So yeah.
I send you a spiritual virtual hug, and I'm sure the IU will also send you a hug as well. Mary, actually, I've been corrected. I made a mistake before. I said Ian was going to do the water blessing, but in fact, it's you, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I apologize, Ian, and thank you for reminding me. So I don't know if you want to tell people to, whoever's got a glass of water by their side, if you followed the instructions well, you will have a glass of water right now. And I think Mary is going to give us a little water blessing, or is going to bless the water. I think we're allowed to then drink the water. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, how long do you want me to do the water blessing for, Pete?
I think we only, however long is right, but I think we're imagining 30 seconds or something like that. Whatever feels right to you.
Okay. So whether you are trained in healing or you're not, everybody is a healer in their own way. So just hold the water in your hands, and just, water has memory. You can go and research this later or not. So just close your eyes, put the water in line with your heart, and just feel the love in your heart and the appreciation and the gratitude for the water. We are all aware at this time of, you know, being grateful for the food in the fridge, in the cupboard. I know there's been panic buying, but you know, the two things we really can't live without is air and water. So let's just take our attention to the water and give thanks that we have water that's clean enough to drink. And just align the glass with the heart center and just feel the love from your heart. And if you don't feel it, just visualize, just learn to trust in yourself that you can place water. You can place the intention in the water for loving connection, for the appreciation. Think of all the things you love about water. Here we have the Jet d'Or on Lake Geneva, which is a beautiful spray of water that sprays up 140 meters. It's absolutely spectacular. Think about waterfalls. Think about underground waterfalls, underground caverns. Think about the oceans. Even the Alps on the biggest mountain is obviously water. Think about everything that water represents to you, be it in the shower, be it in the physical body, and allow all of the water in your physical body to receive the love that you're sending to this glass of water as well. And maybe, just maybe, through connecting with the love of the water in your body, the love for the water in your glass, then you connect with the love and the water all around the planet. And just take a moment to just feel that. And just let it get bigger, and let it get bigger than that. And even bigger than that. And when you find out how easy it is to hold love, to hold one glass of water with love, because you can do this every single day, and life just gets simpler. Just put love into everything that you do. So cheers, everyone. Take the time to drink the water, savor the water. It may taste amazing. Cheers. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, Mary. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that.
It's amazing, actually.
Tastes good.
Mm.
So I guess that water represents the oceans, the rain,
Mm.
the rainforest, everything, the lakes, the rivers.
Mm. It's everything, isn't it? Because everything has water. Even if you have a rock or a crystal, there's, tiny amounts of water in there. Our bodies are made of water, and we are all one. So there's no escaping it, really.
No. Wow. Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
So I think soon we're going to be joined by Dean, I hope, from Sedona. But Mary, just if you could tell us a little bit about your experience as part of the Sacred Pause, if you don't mind. I know we've got quite a few people who've really connected with it from different corners of the earth. We've had people in Africa or Namibia, India, Mexico, USA, UK, Germany, Switzerland, big a lot of people in Switzerland and France. Why do you think? I mean, it started off as five people who just had who just said please, and kept nudging me saying please set something up. We need something in the time. What do you think is so important about this time for us all to stick together as a group?
It's the line, isn't it? United we stand, divided we fall. And the fact at the moment that we're all equal, young and old, rich and poor, we're all in the same boat. And I just think that it's a time of a real purge of what we don't need. We're all kind of thinking about what we do need in life. And of course, we're human beings. We need connection. We need peace, and peace starts with ourselves. So I think the fact that people have had this time to do their self-reflecting, to get off the hamster wheel, how many of us at times have felt like, we're just in that loop of work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, and it's a beautiful time to reconnect back to ourselves. It's a beautiful time to reconnect back to nature. I do appreciate some people are on lockdown completely. I mean, here we can go out for a walk. We're on recommended self-isolation. But the appreciation I have, I mean, I've always had it when I go into the trees or by the lake or, wherever I am. Especially when I was in Bali, it was just amazing to be with people who really appreciate and understand the elementals, the connection to the Earth's aura and the Earth's chakras, because obviously in England, maybe people don't understand as much as they do perhaps here, well, perhaps in Bali. But I think it's a group for like-minded people where we can share, where we can feel connected. And it's really important at this time because, we don't want to feel alone. We're never alone. I mean, even though I'm in my apartment on my own, I've never felt alone. I know I'm aware of spirit guides, power animals and everything else, but I genuinely am so grateful for friends and family that have asked me how I am on a daily basis. So I think it's really wonderful that you set up the Sacred Pause, and even the title, A Sacred Pause. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. Let's hope people do take the learnings. Let's hope that all of the leaders around the world move more into the hearts rather than, the patriarchal society and the head-based and the materialism that's kind of controlled things. But I think if we can go back to basics, I mean, I love the fact that, at 8 o'clock in the UK or 9 o'clock here, people are clapping and being very grateful for the NHS, for the medical workers. But, what about the truck drivers, the shop workers? What about the farmers? Because at the end of the day, how many people actually know where, how to grow potatoes or how to grow vegetables, How many people are willing to get their hands dirty? And having had parents who grew tomatoes, beans and different things when I was a child, and the joy of that, you know, there's nothing like fresh homegrown stuff that's not full of pesticides and insecticides. So maybe after all this, you know, we're not going to be so kind of bothered about apples that are all shiny and of a certain size, and you know, that are not one side. It's just going back to basics and getting real and reconnecting. And I just hope that many people will, you know, maybe take this as growing their own allotments. And I know in England they were getting a lot more children to start growing things within the school, you know, from little seeds, maybe radish or different things. But I think, you know, let's have a round of applause for the farmers, for goodness sake, and let's have real awareness for why the rainforests are being destroyed. As I understand it, feel free to correct me, you know, it's because of the consumerism of beef. You know, beef burgers, it's the amount of cows and cattle they have so that they can take the land, so that the cows have more, you know, freedom to roam. We don't need to destroy the rainforest, for goodness sake. Surely we've got more than enough in this world. And I think hopefully, you know, the fact that everything is just slowing down is going to make such a difference to people, where they can connect with their true selves, you know, with the true heartbeat of the land, with the true heartbeat of the oceans, and the true heartbeat of the trees. Yeah, that's just my opinion, for what it's worth.
No, I agree. When I just stand or sit in the garden and look at the blossom on the trees, the empty skies, the silence, hear the silence, watching nature. There's so many bees around this area right now. Spring is in the air like never before. And I could just stare at it all day. I know a lot of people in the world are panicking, and I think perhaps it's a different story if you've got relatives who are sick right now. I know a few people on this forum have had family who've passed during this time, and I know Pearl is one of those people we've sent healing to her family. I think she lost so a lot of her family have been sick. I think she lost her grandfather, and you know, it's so I think having that kind of trauma when you can't be close to your family must be incredibly difficult. I guess it's all meant to be, but it must be really hard to know that someone so close to you is suffering. So for those people, it's probably been a very different time, and I'm sure there's more of us who are probably going to have to go through this. But I guess it's that, can you take the step back and look at it from a bit of the eagle eye, through the eagle eye, and say, well, it's meant to be. They might physically, their physical bodies aren't there, but you know, in spirit they are still with us. And that's why having this wisdom, this knowledge, knowing that we don't actually die when we leave our bodies, really helps us to deal with these kind of traumas, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if you're always on the hamster wheel, I mean, obviously, you know that I've always been psychic and I've always done mediumship and things, you know, it's just come natural to me. So from being a young girl, I used to see spirits and know that there was the golden thread. I appreciate, obviously, as I've got older, that I've realized that other people don't sense that. But no, we never really leave anywhere. The soul goes on, and at any time. And don't get me wrong, when I lost my granddad a few years ago, and when I lost my grandma, you know, for all that I can do the mediumship, we're still human, and we have to honor the human part. You know, we still feel it. But if any of you are struggling with anything like that, just put your hands on your heart center, just close your eyes and think of that person. And it may be that you get a distinct smell, you know, maybe they smoked, maybe you can smell tobacco, maybe they had a favorite perfume. Or maybe you just get a sense of them. And don't worry if you don't, but sometimes it's like riding a bike. You just need to keep practicing until you get it. We are all divinely connected, regardless of different people's opinions, what religions might tell us. We have to find our own truth. I mean, obviously, Pete, you know, I'm not religious. I've studied many, many religions. It's more of the spiritual, and it is what is right for you, because, you know, my truth might not be yours, or my truth might not be somebody else's. I know, obviously, we agree on most things in the spiritual world, if not all, but we have to respect other people's opinion. And it is hard. I've had a few people who, you know, like yourself, that they've had funerals, they've not been able to attend of loved ones, be it the coronavirus or otherwise. I think it's hard enough that people are separated at this time. But, you know, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder, as hard as that is. There are many people here in Geneva, and obviously you guys in France and my family in England, that I dearly, dearly miss at this time. And I just have to allow myself to feel the connection, because it's all I have. But, you know, saying it's all I have sounds like it's a little bit of a denigration, and it certainly isn't, because it's very, very powerful. Obviously, with social media, that does help a lot. But I think we all need to take care of ourselves, and we all need to take care of each other, and we all need to move to a place of trust. And when we have quiet, because most of us have our busy lives with music on all the time, or the radio or the TV or something, I just hope that for each of us here, I know for me, I just love silence. I'm not saying I want it all the time, but I do love silence. I need an allotted time of silence in the day. And that's when we can listen. And I think it is about truly listening. And obviously in meditation, that's when we listen. You know, when we pray, we send our invocations up. But when we meditate, that's when we're truly listening. And this is why it can open all of the chakras at once. And once you tune into your spirit guides, to your power animals, then, you know, you've got your assisters who are there, whether you know they're there or not, but they will help you to tune in to maybe someone you've lost, or someone you're close to, but someone you're separated from, you know? Yeah.
Wise word, Mary. Thank you. We're just for those of you who are wondering, Dean is having a few technical problems, but we're trying to get hold of him now. Hopefully he'll be here very soon, just so you know. We're going to just go to Ian Gray, who is live in Costa Rica, and he's actually directing this show. So thank you, Ian. And I'm speaking to him live from WhatsApp. So if it looks like I'm not concentrating, I am. I'm just trying to speak to our director stroke guru. Ian, can you just tell us a little bit? We're going to do the fire. We're going to speak to Dean, then we're going to do the fire. But tell us a little bit about what we're going to experience tonight in the finale.
Yeah, you know, I think I was listening to Mary there, and I even commented on what she was saying, because what you guys are putting down is exactly what I've been picking up. I mean, in this time, in this pause, and I'm pretty secluded, and Emily and I we realize how much we are introverts. So we've been sitting here, and now we're forced to be introverts versus before kind of choosing it. And with this extra time, we've really been focusing on the family and the sovereignty of the family. And that means even planting seeds, literally planting seeds from the food that I've been eating, and now they're starting to sprout, and taking the time. And Mary talked about that a bit, about actually taking the time to maybe growing some of your own food. But this is also very metaphoric. In every single area of our lives, we're really planting their seeds. Emily and I actually wrote a book called Heaven on Earth, and it's actually very few pages written, and most of it's actually getting people to envision their heaven on earth and put it in a certain format so they can make it very, very clear. And I think a lot of people are in that time of the reflection. So tonight, with this sound that we bring into this, I'm really anticipating helping people to get that clarity and bring light to anything that maybe no longer serves them, they can let go of. And of course, letting them release that in an easy, smooth way, and then having that vacuum where whatever is the most important thing for you for your own individual sovereignty, and once the individual sovereignty is there, knowing who I am, being clear and at peace, I think was one of the words, peace, inner peace, I think was what Mary had said. That is a key component to being able to do that with my family, with my friends, with my community. So really my anticipation is we have the fire element that we brought to this. We had the water that we brought, the despacho, the earth, and the sound is really the air element, because it's the vibration that's moving through the unseen, and the breath in that meditation to be able to create that newness, that new possibility, that new space for opening. So I'm really excited to be bringing that forward, and I think everybody's going to just sit vibing out and sleep really good tonight and have some blissful cosmic dreams of light, and a lot of intuition come through it. That's my intention with it. And if anybody would like to add to that, please drop it into the comments with all of this stuff. You put those words into the comments, and this is for any of the stuff that we're talking about here. Drop in some intentions for us. It goes into the pile. So it's there cosmically, and when it goes into that pile and it's written, when it's actually written, it's going from a spiritual form into a physical form. So that's the power of the word, right? So drop in any intentions, what you would like to see, because there's space for that. We can create anything with this. So that's a long answer to your question.
There's nothing wrong with a long answer. That's absolutely fine. Thank you, and we're really looking forward to that part of the ceremony. I think what we might do is we might go to the fire, and then we can have Dean straight after the fire, and then go to you for your healing, your meditation, if that's okay.
A moment there, but he didn't have video, so I saw something pop up, and then they disconnected. So I guess he's got some technical thing on his side. So.
Right. Okay. So well, maybe we get Dean after the fire. So sorry, guys, if you're sitting there just waiting for Dean, but there's nothing wrong with the fire. He actually was going to open the directions, so you might have to be stuck with me to do that.
Blessed.
But that's okay. That's okay. So what we'll do is, if everyone could get whatever their offering is to the rainforest in front of them, that would be wonderful. And if they could really focus their intentions on exactly what they want to send healing, how they want to visualize the rainforest to be after the sacred pause in the future, for the next generation and the many generations after that. Really focus on, from your third eye, into exactly how we see this earth being, the rainforest, the trees all over the world, the oceans, the whole planet, and fix that view. And also look at how you want to be part of that. What role do you want to have? Is there something you can do for the rainforest? Is there something you can do to make our planet a more peaceful and more harmonic place? And so I'm going to let you put that intention into whatever your offering is. And of course, Rose, who is there in the background, she might still be watching. She said she's going to hang around to watch Dean, so I guess she's still here. And she'll be doing the same with the despacho. And if we could also visualize the despacho close to us and put in everything to that as well, because that's our group offering. This is our individual offering. So I'll give you a minute where you can really focus on that. And then we can move into the fire. Okay. That's wonderful. So, and if we could all open sacred space, please, that would be perfect. So start off with your hands in the prayer position at your heart and just raise them up slowly with the intention of opening sacred space. Up past your forehead and then open them out into your Viracocha. Feel your Viracocha. Take a deep breath in and invite in the ancient ones, the ancestors, your lineage, anyone else who is important to you, who you feel can bring great love and healing to the rainforest and to us as an IU, because whatever we work on ourselves, we also give to everyone else on this earth, and that includes the rainforest. And just once more, set your intention for the healing, for this ceremony, for the rainforests. And they are the lungs of our planet. They are our oxygen. Not just the trees, the plants, the animals, the creatures that live in the rainforest. It's their home. The indigenous people who are losing their homes constantly. Okay. And now I'd like you to form a virtual circle around the fire. And just for those of you who've not been at a fire before, I mean, this is a virtual fire, so it's not quite the same as being there, but I can almost smell the fire. It feels that real. And a fire allows rapid transformation. It provides an avenue to let go of old stories and dramas and to transform and to renew and to be reborn. So through this fire ceremony, you honor your lessons and your old belief structures and those of the earth people as well. And we turn them over to spirit, and spirit is far more direct in what it does and far more powerful. And doing it together, joined as one, means that we can really bring some magic to the rainforest. We release these old patterns and beliefs, and it heals on a very deep level of the soul without having to experience them at literal and physical levels. As Dean would say, and will say probably later, it's that energetic level that we're working on here that usually we can't reach. So I need to get my maracas. I'm going to open the directions now. I wasn't ready for this. Sorry. I'm going to put my rainforest. I'm going to put my rainforest necklace on. Okay. So if you could all face the south, I'm going to move around with my computer here because that's got my camera, so you can see me. So everyone face the south, please. The wind of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on earth and to teach us the beauty way. To the wings of the west, Mother, Sister Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace, to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. Aho. To the winds of the north, hummingbird, grandmothers, grandfathers, ancient ones, come warm your hands by our fires. Whisper to us in the wind. Take us to your destiny. We honor you who have come before us and you who will come after us, our children's children and our children's children. Aho. To the winds of the east, great sister eagle, condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing. Show us the mountains that we only dare to dream of. Teach us to fly wing to wing with the great spirit. Aho. Mother Earth. You won't be able to see me from this. Mother Earth. We've gathered for the honouring of all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the fin, the furred, the winged ones, all our relations. Aho. Father Sky, Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, you are the unnameable one. Thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing the song of life. Aho. Okay, so the directions are open. So I'd like to now ask you all to light the fire with the spark of your spirit. For those of you on Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, please let us know of your presence. Ideally on Facebook, I've got that in front of me right now, and I will send you to the fire in groups of whatever feels right. Please virtually honor the despacho as everyone else is at the fire, and please make your offering to the fire as we sing the song. Please, you take your mesa or your virtual mesa, take your offering to the rainforest, and Mary and myself will sing a song. I'm just going to check who we have with us right now, and then I will send you to the fire. So Krista Rice, please go to the fire. That would be wonderful. Thank you, Krista. And I'll let you go on your own. We'll go in ones for now. Sorry. We'll go in ones for now. So Krista, please make your way to the fire. And Mary and I will start the song. Can you remember the song, Mary? Are you still there, Mary?
Yes, I'm here, Pete. I do remember the song. I've got it here. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Chitai hey, Krista Rice is currently at the fire. Krista, please, could you send your healing to the rainforest? Thank you, Krista. You stay there, and I'm going to also send Jeffrey from the United Kingdom. Jeffrey, in close to London, please could you go to the fire with your virtual mesa or with your mesa and with your offering to the rainforest. Okay, so Krista and Jeffrey at the fire, please continue to send your healing and make your offerings. I'd like to MK Semos from Dallas, Texas. MK, I'm not sure, is that your full name? I'm sorry if it's not. Please, could you send your healing and make your offering to the rainforest? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Star in tuning in from California with rainbows and healing hands and butterflies. Please, could you make the way to the fire and make your offering to the rainforest? Thank you, Star, and thank you for joining us. Okay, so Jeffrey has just sent us a message, so maybe he didn't hear us before. Jeffrey, your turn to go to the fire, please. Greetings to you, brother. And also I'd like to send Margot, who did that amazing meditation for us the other day. Thank you, Margot. She's from the Netherlands, and she'll be riding her surfboard into the fire. Be careful when you do that, Margot, and please send your healing to the rainforest. Okay, so we have Eliane and Vivian, both from Switzerland, sending big hearts. Thank you, Eliane and Vivian. Please go and make your offering to the fire with your mesas or with all your beautiful energy. And thank you for joining us. Much appreciated. See you in the fire. Okay, so if we could also send James Burns, an author of many books. Awesome to have you here, James. And you're from Charleston, 33rd parallel. So, James, please make your way to the fire and make your offering to the rainforest. Brother, it is an honor to have you on board. And a very appropriate name for a fire, James. James Burns. Okay, Switzerland in the house. Vanya Costa from Lausanne in Switzerland with a big smile. Thank you, Vanya. It's your turn to go and make your offering for the rainforest to the fire. Thank you, Vanya. Okay, Belinda from the Four Winds. Oh yes, sister, please, all the way from London, please head to our virtual fire and send healing to the rainforest. Thank you, Belinda. Amazing to have you here. And I know you're very keen to hear from Dean. I've just been told Dean is on his way, so don't worry. You will be seeing Dean later on. Okay, so into the fire and please make your offering, Belinda. Thank you. Gabriella from London, UK. Well, London are flying on this fire. Gabriella, sorry if I missed you before. You please make your way to the fire and make your offering to the rainforest. Thank you, sister. Okay, so Lisa from New York City. Lisa, I think you weren't feeling so well before. Thank you for joining us despite being sick. Love and prayers to you, and please go and make your offering to the rainforest, sister. Thank you, Lisa. Amazing process. His incredible temple that he's made. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, James. Dean is waiting in the wings, just so you know, everybody. Dean, if you're listening, we're just going to complete the fire. We've got a few people who want to go to the fire to send some healing to the rainforest. So, Corey Rice, Corey from Miami. Hello, Corey. Please make your way to the fire and make your offering to the rainforest. Okay, so on Facebook we have some messages. We have Sophia Roy, who is tuning in. It's very, very early in the morning in India. You are an absolute legend. Thank you for your beautiful meditation last night, Sophia. Please make your way to the fire and make your offering to the rainforest, and do so in the peace and knowledge that Dean will be here very soon for the fire, so we will hear his wisdom very soon. Carry on singing, Mary, if you can. I'll just send a message to Dean saying we're waiting, we're going.
It's on screen, Pete.
Is Dean on the screen?
Yeah, he's been with us for about 5 minutes.
Sorry, I'm looking at my messages. Wow, there he is, Dean. Hello, Dean. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, Peter. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. We're just in the middle of the fire at the moment. We're having a virtual fire. I hope you don't mind us just finishing off the fire. Yeah. Is that okay? Thank you. Thank you. Looking well, sir. Great to see you. Okay. So, Sophia has headed to the fire. Please, could we also have, let me check who we got waiting in the wings. Wilma, she was part of the Four Winds as well. She's all the way from Holland. She's going to make her way to the fire now. And please to make her offering for the rainforest. Thank you, Wilma. Please go and send your healing and your love and make your offering. Okay, Ruth, please could Ruth make her way to the fire and make her offering to the rainforest? Thank you, Ruth. Please could Magdalena make her way to the fire? Thank you, Magdalena. She's in Lausanne in Switzerland. So thank you, Magdalena. Thanks for joining us, sister. And please make your offering to the rainforest. We love you lots. Okay, so can we have Emily Wilson? Please make your way to the fire. She's sending lots of love. Thank you, Emily. We have Dana in Mexico. Please make her way to the fire. Thank you, Dana. Thank you for being with us, sister. And please make your offering to the rainforest. Thank you, Dana. Okay, I hope you're all singing and dancing at home while you're doing this. And could Helen Sharrock please go to the fire and make her offering to the rainforest? Thank you, sister. Thank you, Helen, for being here. It's an honor to have you in our IU. Please could Julian go to the fire? Please could you make your way to the fire, make your offering to the rainforest? Thank you, Julian. Please could Pearl and Rose make their way to the fire. Pearl and Rose, Rosalie, thank you for the amazing dispatcho. And Pearl, thank you for all your incredible meditations and everything you've given to the community. Lots of love, sisters. Please make your ways to the fire from San Diego and from New York. Thank you. Please could Katerina make her way to the fire as well. Katerina, thank you so much for your support, sister. It's been amazing. Just continue what you're doing. Amazing job. Please make your way, your offering to the rainforest. Thank you, Katerina. Clarissa Bartley, please could you make your way to the fire? You're in Switzerland, in Geneva. Thank you, Clarissa, for being part of our IU. Amazing to have you, sister. Please make your offering to the rainforest. Please could Anchor in Namibia make her way. She's our African offering. Thank you so much for being here, sister. Please make your offering to the rainforest, not just the Amazon, to every rainforest on the planet, because it's something that we need to do, and it's not just about the Amazon. There is rainforest everywhere in every continent. Thank you so much. Please make her way to the fire. Jenna, sister, thank you again for your meditation. Thanks for all you're doing. Please make your offering to the rainforest. She says she's singing loud and dancing. Thank you, Gemma. It's great to know that you're doing that, so I don't feel so stupid doing that in my basement by myself. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dean, for singing along as well, and to Mary. It feels so beautiful to have you all together. Okay, so please could Luna Karen make her way to the fire to make her offering to the rainforest. Thank you. And Katerina from France, in deep gratitude for your presence. Thank you so much for flying the flag for France. Thank you to you for being part of our IU. In the group, I think there's 2 or 3. So please, could Sophia, who isn't in India, please could you send healing to the rainforest? Make your offering right now. Thank you so much, sister. Go to the fire, please. Make your way to the fire, George Elas. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Or Jorge, I'm not sure I pronounced it right, but however it is, thank you, brother. And please make your way to the fire to make your offering to the rainforest. And to Teresa, please make your way to the fire as well and make your offering with your mesa. Thank you so much. And Sylvia, please could you do the same? And I hope your dog is better as well. Thank you so much for being here. So many amazing messages. Mickey in Scotland, please could you make your way to the fire? Thank you for being here. And also to Marcel in Lausanne, lots of people in Lausanne, and to Vadim as well in Switzerland. Chica, please make your offering to the rainforest. Okay, Cara Reese in Atlanta and Christina Semos in New York City, please make your way and make your offering to the rainforest. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Okay, this is incredible. Overwhelmed by the amount of people who are here right now. It's really amazing. Jeffrey is drumming and singing loud with love. Thank you, Jeffrey. Belinda says, I can hear you, Jeffrey. I'm sure you can. He's a loud singer. And we've had a message from Tony Johnson. So, Tony, thank you for being here, brother. And please make your way and make your offering to the fire and to the rainforest. Thank you. Elty, please make your way to the fire. I think you are very close to Dean right now, but please make your way to the virtual fire. Make your offering to the rainforest, brother. Thank you. Okay, Dean and Mary and Ian, I'd love you to make your way to the virtual fire and send your healing to the rainforest, and I will do the same. And I'll just put my bracket down and make my offering. So if we could all go to the fire now, because it wouldn't be complete without us doing this. And everyone else at home can sing and dance. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Emily. Could Debbie in the UK make her way to the fire? Sorry if I missed your message. Please go and send healing to the rainforest. And anyone else who is too shy to say they're physically here, I know there's quite a few people in the background who aren't using a lot of social media. There's some people who aren't watching but are here in spirit as well. So this is your moment to send your healing to the rainforests. I'm sure when we opened Sacred Space, we were joined by many beings, luminous beings, spirit, the ancient ones, the ancestors, and this is your moment to make your offering to the rainforest. And it feels getting shivers down my spine and all over my body right now as I say that. So I think that's confirmation that we're in the presence of some incredible people. And I don't know if at this point Dean would like to say something with regards to the rainforest or anything that you're feeling right now, Dean, that you'd like to share with us.
Thank you, Peter. And I've just been appreciating being here singing, and I can't share my gratitude enough about this ceremony and so many ceremonies that are happening, and how important it is that we are actually in ceremony right now, because that's the most important thing that we can do. And our honors to the lifeblood of Mother Earth, to the lungs, to her blood, to her to all of her microbes and minerals, the animals, and the luminous beings, all the beings that make up the microcosm of our world, that we're calling to unite right now.
Yeah.
Doing your part in making that happen.
Yeah. Well, I think you speak for everyone, and I don't think it matters which ceremony we're part of, which group we're part of. I think we're all part of the same movement here. So irrelevant of numbers, I think it is all about just uniting as one and doing it alongside, in tandem with the Great Spirit, to be able to send healing right now. Because I think the Earth, if there was ever an open time to do it, an open window, this seems to be that window, right?
It is, and we're called for in that are converging in the now, and in so many of the traditions that are meeting right now, you would have to spend your entire life to make it through some initiations, right? For years to become shaman, of lifetimes, are chosen because they've been hit by lightning or lived in a cave for so many years in their first years of life. And is that humanity is calling the medicine of us all, that everybody needs to participate in the evolution of Mother Earth right now, and of the human. Now is the time that all of us, in whatever way each of our medicine wants to come through, this is not the time to hold back, and it's not the time to be questioning our skills. It's the time, hey, whatever we have now, let's offer it. And if we don't even know what that is, then coming to fires and your medicine can be helping somebody across the street, or having compassion for somebody that has a different point of view than you do right now. So many things are happening in the United now, being very suspicious of each other, right? Because everybody can carry this virus and all these different things going on. So we're becoming fragmented, and back the human family. And that's, I believe, what we've been studying for our whole lives, or our lives, and then our collective lives for, is the that we're in.
Yeah. Just while you're talking, I'm just going to send a few people to the fire, Dean, if you don't mind. So Bob, please, could you go to the fire? And Karina, please, could you go to the fire and send your message and make your offering to the rainforest. Thank you. And thank you, Dean, as well, for your incredible answer. I hope you can hear okay, Dean, still. You're still there? Yeah, great. Dean, if you could also, you've made some pretty amazing, we've done some amazing talks on Facebook Live. Can you just tell us a little bit about what is your understanding about what is happening right now? I mean, the bigger picture, not just about what we're doing as individuals, but what is the Great Spirit doing right now to change our Earth? Because I know you've obviously got some great theories and some words of wisdom.
Well, I think, we've been all this turning of the Earth right now, and in our tradition, it's called the Pachacuti. It's the new sun. If in the Hopi tradition, we're coming to the time, and so all of the traditions pointed to now. Right, so we look at the Mayan calendar that's just recently begun again. So it's ended and then begins to this moment in time. A lot of the Egyptian prophecy points to this moment in time. So these traditions are pointing to the now, and this on some unconscious level because it's wired into our DNA. And if we look at the past, the product of our evolution, all of these, many of us, most of which are not here right now. And so what happened to them? And we're finding cities underwater all the time, and they didn't build them down there. And these are megalithic city architectural wonders. And they're from the time past, and the Earth has gone through these cleansings, whether that's connected to the precession of the equinox or we go around the galactic center. We also go through the galactic plane. So we're moving in a kind of an undulating pattern above and below the galactic plane and the energy that is happening right now. But it's the time of the shifting. So in biblical times, call it the end time. And that doesn't mean it's the end of life on Earth or some big cataclysm, a meteor smashing into the planet. It means that all the systems that are no longer working are now breaking down. Is having a chance of reset, of purging. And so it's a cleansing and purging time. And this has been prophesized, so interesting. And I've been teaching energy time, and the people that show up in these classes are not people that are, we have doctors and truck drivers and business people and preparing. Again, it's all unconscious. They're being called to something. And this is what they're being called to, that we are having a chance while it can be, because right now there's a worldwide shutdown and a lot of people are uncomfortable. A lot of things are going on. So it's a very challenging time, but it's also a very, and for those of us that are sitting in ceremony, just like you are leading us in right now, Peter, that we have a chance to actually add some input rather than just be a kind of wondering, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? When will things go back to normal, whatever normal is? And they're not going back to whatever it was, because that were the conditions that precipitated the event. I think in some ways, this is a very exciting moment on planet Earth. And the exciting part can only come about if we keep our energy centered. We out of our limbic brain fear factors. We stick together in tribes. We bring together the bird. Something that I'm very connected is the bird tribe. And so I've had these visions. It's my whole bird tribe, and in a lot of ways, that's what's happening here at this little center that I work at in Arizona. I feel like the people are coming home, and I think that's what's going on. It's time for us all to remember what our true core values are on the level of the soul, and not the consumption, all the other paradigms that have served us well, but are no longer.
Wow. Thank you. Every time you open your mouth, Dean, I'm overwhelmed. It reminds me of the sessions we did with Alberto for the Four Winds. I don't know where it comes from, but it's incredible. If you could give us as individuals, a lot of people watching who probably don't understand why they're here and why they're part of it. If there's one piece of advice you could give them to motivate them to do more, so they can understand exactly what they're part of here, because I think we're so much more powerful than we actually realize as human beings. What advice would you give to people like that, people who are not really understanding it, feeling it, but not really understanding it? What would you say to people like that?
Well, I would say, for me right now too, right? I'm feeling it, but I don't know it either. So we're all in the number of things, we're all in this thing together. I think if I could give one singular piece of advice, I'd suggest following your heart.
Follow your heart.
Heart has so much inherent intelligence. It's actually what is creating our. So it's a very strong energetic signal. So when we talk about our luminous body, and many people on this call or this ceremony understand what that is. Well, the heart is a big germ intelligence. There's actually neurons in our heart, and our heart's sending a lot of signals to the brain. So if I have to depend on my brain right now and what my skill set is, what I'm qualified to do, can I sing the Nichi Tai Tai song or not? Can I lead a fire? Can I do all this stuff? So that's all in the brain, and my brain's gonna just tell me all the 50 reasons why it coulda, shoulda, woulda, didn't do it, that, it's going on in there. And hey, blessings to all of the inhabitants of my head. the true, the heart. Because we don't have a map. So there's no map, Peter, that we can look and say, hey, what happened? The people that have gone through this left us records. They've left us traditions. They've left us mythology. But it's our job right now so we can channel that mythology. But we're sort of on our own. And the only then good barometer is the heart, and trusting the heart. And if I'm gonna do my best to make it happen, regardless of whether it makes sense to my mind. And I think that would be the best advice that I could, to be going out on a limb right now. This is not the time to hold back and to wonder what, again, your skill set is, or can you sing, or can you play your drum, or making some kind of a speech or whatever. I did some kind of I did this little podcast yesterday, and I was talking about energy, and I'm like, well, gee whiz, I'm some white guy from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What do I know about this topic? And then I sat down, I thought, well, gee whiz, I know a lot about my whole life. And so it doesn't matter what color our skin is, we're all indigenous. It doesn't matter what race we are. At the end of the day, we have it as all races. We've been the persecutor. We've been the ones that have caused this problem. We've been the ones that have solved this problem. We've been the ones that have hurt the planet. We've been the ones that have helped the planet. We've been these all things. And so now I think if we can suspend judgment, tap into the heart, and do something, and an action. So I follow the heart, and I think doing just like what everybody's doing right now. Saturday afternoon, coming to a fire. What a beautiful thing. Wow.
I think that's an amazing way to close the interview. Thank you so much for your time, Dean. I don't know if you've eaten your lunch yet, but go and enjoy your lunch. Thank you for being part of our fire. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and many blessings. Thanks to everybody. Thank you so much for the important. And thank you for sticking together, and I'm honored to be in your tribe.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Dean, for joining us. I know a lot of people only came to this because they wanted to hear from Dean, and it's amazing to see him. He speaks so much wisdom, and I think his advice to follow our hearts, to tune into our hearts, to tap into it, that is the best advice right now. Don't listen to our minds, because there's a million things going on there that tell us why we shouldn't do something, but our hearts is a completely different story. So speaking of our hearts, I think it's time now to move over to Ian Gray. Are you there, Ian? Are you there, Ian? Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Nice to see your face again. I think we've spoken to Dean, we've spoken to Mary, we've received some amazing wisdom. We've done the water blessing. We've had an incredible fire. Thank you to everyone at home. I'm so sorry if I didn't mention any of your names, if I missed any of you off, but you were there. I promise you were there in spirit, and I send you there now if I haven't sent you there before. But there's no better way to close this program by doing a meditation. That's why we set the whole Sacred Pause up, to do a meditation every day, a different type of meditation every day. Ian obviously has been with us a couple of times before, and it's been amazing every time. For those people at home, I think this is the moment to grab your headphones, because you get extra sensory reception that way, I think. Ian, do you want to just give us a little bit of information about what we can expect here and exactly what you're doing? Or should we just listen to our hearts, as Dean said?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that I could say right now. I think maybe the best thing would be just echoing some of the highlights that you, Mary, and Dean brought up, and just bring them to the forefront of the consciousness. And while I'm doing that, please, I invite everybody to drop any intention into the comments here. It can be for yourself, it can be for your family, it can be for the world, it can be for whatever you would like. And this is a great exercise to practice looking into the heart, right? The intention comes from that heart. So let's hear the heart intention, that whatever's coming through for you, and drop that into the comments. So it's here written in stone. Other people are going to be watching this at a later date. They'll read through the comments, and whatever they read of what you wrote is going to automatically be instilled into their hearts and their minds, thus creating a bigger field. So some of the things that I heard, and I actually took a few notes here, is made me think about how this whole illusion works, this whole reflection of everything out here. We've been looking at the fire, right? The fire, and doing a fire ceremony, which represents the fire within inside of us. We've looked at the water and the energy of water. We've blessed the water. That still represents the water that's inside of us. So the fire inside of us somebody might say fire is just a chemical reaction. A scientist would say that. However, it's really something coming from the astral plane into the physical plane. It's that force of life that burns inside of each one of us. And this meditation part is where we go to the inner. We've looked at the rainforest as the lungs of the earth, right? So we talked last time we did the ceremony like this, talked a bit about, hey, it's no coincidence that the coronavirus attacks the lungs, right? It's no coincidence that it's got something to do with the way the oxygen moves throughout the body. And we see in the outer world this stuff happening. So everything that's happening outside is actually a reflection of what's happening inside for each one of us. And as we purify and cleanse and find that peace, like Mary said earlier, within us, then it will be manifested as such outside. As we look into our hearts and find those heart's intentions and bring them to attention, right? So from our heart to our mind, we begin to change this hologram, and we begin to evolve. And we're in this powerful time where manifestation is taking place from our hearts in a way that it never has before, where human consciousness, I mean, that never hasn't happened in 25,000 or so years. been under a spell. So another thing that came up that Dean mentioned was about suspending judgment, right? So anytime I get into judgment, I'm pointing the finger out away, and I'm not taking the responsibility. So if I'm not taking responsibility, I'm not looking in my heart. So it's a key component to this. Is there's no judgment. We've all said stupid things. We've all done stupid things. I remember I used to race motorcycles, and I used to chop down trees, like, get out of my way, tree, like angry at trees so I could ride my motorcycle in that spot. Like, now I feel like, wow, I used to do that. Now I'm planting seeds, right? So we've all been there in the smallest and the biggest of ways where we've made mistakes. At least I know I can speak for myself. And forgiveness of myself, forgiveness of any of that guilt or shame. Just create some space for that, because now you've got the intention, you've got the awareness. Now there's no excuse. There's 100% responsibility for everything in your awareness, because it's coming radiating from within the heart. So with that being said, I think we'll get to start playing some sound here. So I invite everybody to, and Peter, is there anything else you would like to say before I move to the sound?
Nothing except I'm really looking forward to this. So I'm just going to get myself comfortable and take me off the screen. I want to see you in your cozy, amazing little spiritual corner there, which looks so beautiful and warm, where I'm in my cold basement in France and you're in beautiful Costa Rica.
Absolutely. I get the luxury of, I look out and I see secondary forest, ton of rainforest into ocean. And it's such a blessing, and the rainy season's coming and I can feel that energy coming. So I hope to channel all of that and give any of that energy to you guys, because nature nurtures, nature's where it's at. So just invite you to just close your eyes for a second and just begin concentrating on the breath, and breathe however is most effective for you. You are your own best shaman. Look into your heart and listen to what it is saying. I may at times guide. Feel free to do what I'm saying or stick with your own thing. And let's just take a moment of complete silence and just wipe the slate clean, and I'll begin. And while we have this silence, just attune to your breath and look into your heart. Now the next exhale, just exhale all of the air out, creating space, moving everything from inside. So the next inhale is the biggest inhale yet. At the top, hold for a moment and just scan the body, see how it's feeling, make any adjustments. Check the mind. Is it calm? Is it busy? Check into the heart. Is it open? Is it beaming? Is it blasting love? Is there something else that you're feeling right now? And I invite to set an intention. I'm going to call in pure inner peace, divine love, courage, freedom, gratitude. Begin to feel these emotions expand in the heart with each breath. With each inhalation, notice the light filling up the heart, the emotions becoming stronger. Feel free to call in a memory, maybe something from the childhood, maybe your first kiss, the first time you felt the butterflies in your stomach. The time when you felt on top of the world, creating divine perfection, pure joy. Know that the love for yourself, the more you can experience it, the more you can love all things in life. The more you can give love to yourself, the more you can give love to all things. Your full permission to be completely in love with yourself. And knowing that you are one with all things, this love for yourself automatically ripples out to all other things. This love is where we find the wholeness, the unity with all that exists. With each breath, notice the connection to all the light, to all the life, to all that exists. Notice the pictures that this love within the heart begins to paint in the mind, the pure truths. Love is the way. All there is love. With each breath that is inhaled, it's alchemized in the heart to pure love, released and exhaled as a vibration of pure love going out into the cosmos. As the next person breathes that same breath, they are so infused with pure love, you are now alchemizing. Your presence is the gift. Remember, I am the light. I am the life. I am the love. I am whole. Each breath, notice this light filling within and without, radiating to all that is. There's no longer an inhale or an exhale, there's just one breath. The earth, life. Pure love birthed within, fire raging, a heart as bright as the central sun. Notice your subtle vibration rippling out, birds chirping, leaves of trees turning green. Life thriving, pure oneness. Heaven is the new earth. It is birthed from your heart. You are the key. I am the key. As one, united in love. Notice how this vibration feels within. This is you. This is me. Connected eternally in eternity, here, now. On the next inhale, bring your hands to prayer position in front of the heart. Press them gently together so that the body becomes activated. And each cell tunes to this light within. DNA becoming activated, latent DNA being turned on. Breathing into this embodiment, you are perfect, healed, perfect exactly as you are. You are pure light, pure truth, pure love, connected with all that is. Gently do a scan, head to toe, noticing the comfort within, the inner warmth, peace, courage, divine love, self-love, the unity with all that is. Gratitude, freedom, the divine essence that this body you're wearing creates around it. You are free, you are perfect, you are loved. Gently lowering the hands down, palms up. Breathe in through these palms. Notice how the energy moves up your arms, down your shoulders, down your legs, to your feet. How these hands are made to create the intentions of your heart through action. Just as your voice does so through words, the mind does so through thought. All leading to the heart's intention, the divine being, blessed as you are. Take one more breath into the heart. On the exhale, begin wiggling the fingers and toes. And coming back into the body, opening the eyes. Taking a moment to appreciate these beautiful hands that you have, arms, legs, maybe rubbing the legs, arms with your hands. Just appreciating this body that you have. How blessed you are, how grateful we are to have you here as one. Reflection, my brother and sister. May you have a beautiful evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. God bless. Till tomorrow.
Thank you, Ian. You sent me into some crazy state, so I'm probably not very broadcastable right now. But thank you. What you're doing for us is really amazing, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone when I say thank you. I don't understand necessarily what's going on, but it's incredible, really incredible. So thank you, brother. And I noticed we got some messages as well while this was happening. Jimbo Weekend wanted to send an intention so that all forms on earth find union with our mother. Post Algamin, Margot, self-love. Eloa Yonim from Jerusalem, so heartwarming. Thank you so much. A lot of messages from Facebook saying how much gratitude they've got for what you've done and for everyone. And I think this is the moment to say thank you to Ian for incredible meditation. Thank you to Rose Camacho for putting the despacho together and all the things that we were honoring the rainforest with and making our offerings. So thank you so much for doing that. It was so beautiful. Thank you to Mary for your incredible advice, for being there for us during this time. So thank you to Mary Curtis, and thank you to Dean. He came in the end. We're a little bit worried there that maybe it wasn't going to happen, but thank you so much, Dean, for your words of wisdom as ever. And I think that is all we've got time for. But I hope it's been what you expected. If you want something extra or something else, then please just tell us on the WhatsApp group or on the Facebook group or on this YouTube stream, wherever it fits. But thank you to the IU. Thank you, everybody, because you're the people who make this so powerful and so beautiful. And I'm always overwhelmed by the messages we get. I'm always amazed how many people come and engage with something like this, but it is super special, and I totally understand why. So thank you to everyone, and we wish you sweet dreams, sweet afternoons, sweet mornings, and we'll speak to you tomorrow. So yours in peace and love, Peter, and the Sacred Pause. Namaste.